There are 58 players within 6 of the lead. The wind has made it challenging, and the greens have been absolutely ferocious as we head toward moving day.
It's finally the weekend. 2 more days of major championship shots.
Oh, what a shot. What a shot.
And the corresponding major championship nerves.
Buckle up. Get a windbreaker.
In every generation and every sport,
Birdie got it.
a seductive possibility hangs out there, more precious than any trophy.
Yes, sir.
That you might win enough tournaments.
He shows up at the big time event.
Enough of the right tournaments, like this week's PGA Championship,
He is ascending on this leaderboard.
for people to still speak your name long after memory of your actual self has faded away.
McNeely going on a run all afternoon.
The crackle in the air is born of that hope. All these players, somewhere inside, have laid out some scenario that ends with them holding the Wanamaker. The trophy is nice, but really, they're after immortality, or at least the myth of it. Welcome to Moving Day at the PGA Championship.
ESPN and the PGA of America present the 2026 PGA Championship. Today, it's third round coverage live from Aronimink Golf Club in Newtown Square, Pennsylvania, just outside of Philadelphia. With PGA champion Mark Brooks, I'm Taylor Zarzer. Andres Gonzalez is on the ground for us today to watch these 2 major champions try to make their mark in this year's PGA Championship. This is the closest that Jordan Spieth has ever been to the lead after 36 holes in this event. He finished second back in 2015 and third in 2019. Dustin Johnson has not been a factor in major championships in the last handful of years, but he has made 3 straight cuts in majors. And the first tee is packed to watch these 2. About a decade ago, these 2 had a chance in almost every major, it seemed. Spieth winning 2 in 2015 and 1 more in 2017. Dustin Johnson winning in 2016 and 2020 as they play the first, Brooksy.
A little bit longer today with the wind kind of in off the right. Still a wide fairway here. Back left hole location. This is deeper than it was the first day, but on the same side of the green. Shouldn't be any problem leaving yourself an uphill birdie putt to get out of the box. 442 is a relatively short hole in today's world.
See today's hole location. It took Rory 11 tries, far more than all the rest of those 6 that are on that list that have won all 4 of golf's major championships. Here's Jordan Spieth trying to do it in his 10th attempt. Let's head to the first tee now. David Reisner has the announcement.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 108th PGA Championship. This is the 10:50 a.m. starting time. Please welcome to the tee from Texas, Jordan Spieth.
You already heard all these Eagles fans yelling at him for being from Texas and being a Cowboys fan. He has brought his game here to Aronimink, Mark. The swing looks terrific if he can just make a few putts.
Yep, just keep plugging along. Hit it, Win.
One more.
The guys have not been driving
Next
it
to play,
fairway
from
bunkers.
Florida, Dustin Johnson.
Sorry about that. The guys are driving it in this rough, not these fairway bunkers. So you got to hit the fairway.
This is his 17th PGA Championship start. He received a special invitation this year from the PGA America, and he is making the most of it. That swing hasn't changed through the years. Great start for the 41-year-old from South Carolina. Well, Jordan Spieth, you go back to the first round on Thursday. He started on the 10th hole. Made that birdie at 16 and was 1 under turned to the first. And was 2 under through his first 10 holes. Another one mark here at the par 3 fifth.
Pretty dialed in right here. 178. Turned it right to left.
4 birdies in his opening round. Nice approach here at the 6th.
And there's a common theme to these. Leaving himself uphill putts.
Whitmick bogey at 7 and 8 after that and finished the round at 1 under par.
Those were all uphill putts.
In the second round, he had fallen all the way to 3 over before doing this at 16.
Pretty nice fit there. Little sling cut hybrid in there to about 12 feet. However, he didn't make it.
He did not. And he only had made 38 feet of putts yesterday. Well, it's fun to get to watch these two as a lot of players are making a move out there in these different conditions. For more on that, let's go to the course and the birthday boy, Andres Gonzalez.
Thank you, Taylor. Mark, excited to be here with you guys today. It's going to be breezy just like it has the first couple days, and we're starting to see some shine in this green really start to firm up around the golf course. As the balls start to bounce in the fairways, with the the fairways firming up, these fairways are going to play a little bit smaller. Jordan Spieth is leading the field this week, or tied for the lead at hitting 75% of his fairways. He's going to need to do more of that and really try to get his putter hot. These two players are both perennial contenders the last 20 years, so I'm excited to see how far back into this race they can get. With only 58 guys within 6 shots of the lead, it's anybody's ball game today.
It really is. Happy birthday, my friend. I know it's a fun way to spend it, getting to watch these two in these great conditions. And to Dre's point, Mark, I know you've said this forever. Every day is moving day in a golf tournament. But given the conditions and how hard it's been to make birdies the first couple of days, it truly is today with this different wind out of the south. You get a prevailing wind today. You've been looking at this board right now. I mean, there are birdies everywhere out there.
There are?
Yep.
Tons of birdies, especially this front 9.
56.
We don't know yet how the back's going to play. Let's listen in here.
All right, look. Yeah, I shot 56.
Okay, so it's
looks like
probably
it's up
60, just on the angle. Supposed to be mainly off the right. We want to get it 50, 45. They get 45, right?
Yes, that's correct. Just finishing like 4 short, 5 short.
Yeah. Just want to make sure this gets 45. 50, you know?
Yeah, be in and off the right.
Just mainly off the right.
Southwest is like close to a quarter.
What's it supposed to be?
Southwest.
Oh, I thought it was southwest.
Mark, this really isn't a bad spot right here. He's going to be able to get some club on it and plenty of green to work with, and a great angle to this back left pin location playing out of the right rough.
He's trying to land it about 10 on.
Red slam, go!
Way right.
Go, Jordan!
As you just heard there, Michael Greller and Jordan Spieth, as always, will be part of our broadcast today. Lots of communication between those two. They've been together for well over a decade. And then brothers and best friends, Dustin and his brother Austin, working together from the fairway here, Dre.
Now from only 126, this should be go zone.
Oh, go.
Leaking a little right.
And yes, that's just off the actual putting surface. About 2 feet. They're cut really tight around these greens.
You were saying just a moment ago, there are birdies on the first 9. Michael Kim, 5 under through 9. Chris Kirk, 4 under through 8. Justin Rose, 4 under through 8. Padraig Harrington, 3 under through 9. The ageless Irishman.
Yeah, they're about 100 when you add those two guys up together.
The Højgaard twins are both 2 under on their round.
They're telepathically telling each other what's going on.
Smalley and McNeely later on go off at 240 at 4 under par. World-class players chasing at 3 under. There's Scheffler and Justin Thomas, PGA champions at 2 under. Cam Young eagled the last yesterday. Michael Kim is hot, and now he's in the top 10. John Rahm teeing off 2 hours before the leaders.
The notables to miss the cut, pretty short list.
Yeah, most of the best players in the game are all right here in the fight, some of which are going off 2-3 hours before the last group. So you could have a bunch of different big names there by the end of the day. Yeah, as for those notables, this is really the list right here. Tommy Fleetwood, that's a surprise.
That's a surprise.
Missing the cut by 1. Defending U.S. Open champion J.J. Spawn will go to Shinnecock, but misses the cut here at the PGA.
I'm going to say Victor and Bryson aren't total surprises.
Bryson birdied the last 3 holes to finish 7 over.
No surprise there. Ashkay's been playing great too. That's a surprise. But my point is, the best players they're playing today, this weekend.
Really have never seen anything like this, where you have almost 60 players that are 6 shots or closer to the lead going into the day.
And that's a bad thing?
It's a wonder. I think it's a wonderful thing.
I do too.
I know the players are complaining about it, but I think it's great. It means, Dre, if a guy like Jordan Spieth can get this putter hot, he could be right back in it.
You know, we've become so accustomed to watching him make putts, especially of this length. These pin positions have just been spectacular this week, though. About 2 feet short of the pin, starts breaking away from him. We're going to need to do better than that if we want to get back in the race, though.
Another one of those to start off the round.
I'll digress. The tee shot was in the rough. You lost control. You couldn't put it where you really wanted it. Over there short, maybe even left of the hole a little bit. So that's rough's doing its job. Missed the fairway, you're probably going to be working for par.
Now DJ from off the green plays so quickly from tee until the green, and then for many years he loves to look at every single side of these putts to make sure he has a good idea of what he's contending with. And there's a lot of movement in these greens, Dre.
And there's going to be a lot of movement right here coming from the fringe surface up to the green. He's kind of riding along a ridge, so the farther right he starts this, the more it's going to fall off. But there's not that much room before it starts breaking left of the hole.
Hard right early.
Had it read perfectly. A steady 4 to start. This feels like an important putt here after what happened yesterday with Spieth not making anything. Just 37 total feet of putts made. Essentially was making a 2-footer per hole. Get some momentum with this club.
Yeah, it's 5 feet.
Yeah, he doesn't need a lot of these, creating stress throughout the day. I'd love to get some more tap-ins, but this is where we're at now. This may help him out too. If he can get this to fall, just build up a little bit of confidence making a difficult putt in the first hole.
The difficulty's in reading it. Pull. Look at the hole on that one. One of his traits.
3-putt start and drops back to 2 over.
There's no way he was comfortable with the read when he got over that. You could just see it in his body language.
Well, 13 months after Rory McIlroy completed the career Grand Slam in his 11th attempt, Jordan Spieth rolls on in here to try to join that exclusive club. This week now is his 10th appearance at the PGA with the Slam on the line. This many tries at winning all 4 majors has not been fruitful to anyone other than Mr. McIlroy. The King, 34 tries at the PGA. Watson, 24 here. Slam and Sammy, 23 at the U.S. Open. Mary Mex, Lee Trevino couldn't get it done at Augusta National. Phil, 11 tries. He has all those silver medals, 6 of them at the U.S. Open. Rory doing it last year at Augusta and then doing it again this year. When will it be Jordan Spieth's turn? He heads to the second tee.
It's only 407 yards. You can see these guys, DJ can cover that corner. The wind's a little off the left today, and this is another reverse camber, dog legs left with the fairway slope in the opposite direction. So you've either got to shape it up against the slope or just take everything out. That looks like the line.
300 over that last bunker, fading pretty hard, needs to bounce soft to hold the fairway.
It covered everything. Now it's got to shut down. Just in the little first cut. Pretty far up there. The ball rolled 50 yards.
Pay attention to that today, gentlemen. It is going to firm up with these breezes.
If you're in the rough for this pin, you have to play. That's your best shot.
And I think that has an impact here on Spieth and Greller's decision. What just happened with DJ's ball, so less than driver.
They can't see that.
292 run out right there.
I'm on the edge of that bunker, right?
Yes.
Mark, his ball was cutting pretty hard,
Yeah.
so I think they had an idea, though. 275 over the first bunker on the inside portion of the fairway. And the fairway runs out about 290.
That was a beautiful golf swing there.
Straight as a string.
Adding a little draw to it.
And rewarded. And stays in the fairway. Dustin Johnson and Jordan Spieth both at 2 over par, 6 back. Six birdies so far at the second today. Longest drive comes from Dustin Johnson here in the group we're watching. He will be just in that first cut over there. Jordan Spieth, 104 yards to go. Spieth at 12 of 14 fairways on Thursday. He's third in strokes gained off of the tee. And he's only missed 9 greens so far in the tournament. In fact, hit 15 of them on Thursday, but it's been the putter that's been the problem. 32 putts on Thursday, 33 more yesterday, and then 3 on the first hole today.
Sort of says it all.
104?
Yeah.
105 all in?
Yeah. 98 cover.
We can pitch it a little shy of it. If I don't want to, but we could. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. And you got past it about 5. 110-ish. One just left of it.
05's playing close to 15.
Yes.
Maybe a touch more.
Yeah, I like that 15.
Right?
Yep.
Am I going to finish it over the middle bunker?
Yes.
We heard him say that he wants to land it just short of it. 104 back into a little breeze. There's only about 8 paces of green short of it, but it should propel it forward.
In the hole.
That was unfortunate there with all of that spin.
We haven't seen that much spin on the ball all week.
Stole the words out of my mouth. And now Dustin Johnson from the first cut here.
This is an awkward shot from 67. The ball's sitting down a little bit.
Couldn't get any spin on it, but it's good play. And that will be fast from there.
Dustin receiving a special invitation into the field from the PGA of America, given his fantastic career, 17 starts here in the PGA Championship. 2 seconds. Go back to 2019. He made that Sunday charge against Brooks Koepka at Bethpage, and then finished second the next year at Harding Park. That was one I'm sure he feels he should have won. I go back to 2010 at Whistling Straits when he finished a shot out of the playoff and tied for 5th, and I still don't know what happened to him off the tee there on 18. That sandy area.
A mystery bunker. Well, he took it. He took it better than most people could.
You know what I'm saying? I know they did. It's 6 inches that way.
Well, this is chip-inable, Dre.
I like that term. I was unable to get over and see the lie. Is it right up against the fringe? I mean, everything has kind of been right up against the first cut.
No, it hopped on in there. It's 8 inches in. It's perfect.
Oh, this is very makeable then. Doesn't have to worry about coming down real steep.
A little misread.
Well, you know, he wanted a 3 after that way he hit that second shot, but it is a 4.
Okay. Complicated golf. A is where the ball is. B is where it lands. C is what it does after it hits the ground. Okay. This is a little more complicated test, and they're used to the ball spinning around. That shot was cut pretty hard, hit it pretty hard, up against the wind, and it was cutting with it. It had no choice but to start spinning to the right.
You think we'll see a lot more of that in the next 24 hours with the wind and the heat?
I'm just saying that was predictable. That result was predictable when that ball was in the air. Because it just was. He knows that. He rode the wind. That ball probably faded 5 yards, and that's a lot with a sand wedge, and it was riding the wind. And what's it going to do when it hits? It's got 11,000 RPMs of spin on it. It's going to have to do something on the ground. So, not saying it was a bad shot. I'm just saying the result was very predictable.
Johnson's giving this a full look around. This is another pin that is right on the crest of a ridge. And we saw Jordan's ball, when it spun back, fall off the right side, and when Dustin's landed, it broke the other way. So getting this line is going to be pretty imperative, and matching up with speed is going to be even more difficult.
This being in the fairway by a foot or so, and unable to get near the hole because of it.
Well, there were 2 situations. One, too much spin with Jordan, and the other, just Dustin couldn't put enough on it. What's the result? 2 pars.
I like the way he's hitting lines so far, though. The first 2 putts have been right on line. Just needs to give it a little more energy.
They will head to the par 4 third.
A little different breeze today. Should be down off the right. That will not be a problem. Need enough club to get over that, but also stay short of this set of bunkers, mainly that one. About 350 to that. And people are going to say, well, they listened to the players and put the pin out there. No, this was predetermined early in the week, and I'm sure they looked at the wind forecast to choose which day for which pin. So this one's accessible. The first day was back right behind, tucked right behind the bunker. Brutal, very difficult. You could almost argue it's gotten easier each day, the whole location.
Yeah, already 10 birdies here today.
Yeah, and the 8 others, that's for the week.
Well, Justin Rose 5 under through 9. He's now 2 under, 2 back. Chris Kirk 4 under through 9. It's out there.
This has got to be a real comfortable wind for Dustin. Wind off the right.
Come on, DJ.
Like that. No, just not short enough.
Those bunkers that you mentioned at 350 mark, there is some room up the right-hand side of the fairway where those won't come into play at all.
I think as long as they cut it up against it a little bit.
Go get them, fellas. Go get them, fellas.
See, it only carried that 279 bunker by about 10 yards. Yeah, there you go, 289.
Perfect position to attack. Cowboys fan Jordan Spieth listening to all these Go Birds cheers from the Eagles fans throughout the great city of Philadelphia.
Welcome back to the PGA Championship. We're here in Cowboy Country, very windy Frisco, Texas. And I want to share with you something that Jordan Spieth has been working very hard on in his golf swing over the last few years. He talked a lot this week about how he has been working on his swing. He didn't feel like it was quite translating or feeling comfortable on the golf course yet. It's too windy for us to extend the noodle all the way up and out here, but he has been practicing with a very long pool noodle, and that is helping him get the feeling that his hands and arms are lower and more around in his backswing. He talked a lot about how his right hip tends to get too high, and then he feels like his hands and arms get a little bit too high in that backswing, but noticeable differences in his backswing from when he used to be very laid off with that super bowed left wrist. Now we're seeing a much flatter left wrist there, and I think it's leading to some better golf for him. But this is a great drill if you are struggling with something similar, just working on kind of swinging underneath that pool noodle to get those hands and arms a little bit lower and more around you.
Natalie, thank you. Great drill. I'm starting to wonder about the conditions for next year's PGA Championship, since that's where you will be at PGA Frisco, and that's where the PGA Championship will be next year. But that is something you see a lot of the players doing these days now, try to make sure they're in the correct spot on their backswing. Yeah, the green is cleared up there at 3 as Jordan Spieth and Dustin Johnson get ready to play into it.
And this is a very gettable pin today. The only thing you can't do is miss long, but there's plenty of room short, and there's a little side bank caused from a ridge. Cut up the middle of the green.
Landing it where?
Thinking 15, the big hop?
Yeah, just right of it.
You don't really want it just as long as it's short enough, right?
Yeah, I still like it 1 or 2 paces just right of it.
That little sideboard is just right of it. It should push back to the left. Anything that does finish right.
Oh my, got hit into. Gotta be.
Disappointment here in these first few holes for Spieth. Now it's Dustin Johnson's turn.
That wind did change a little bit on Spieth. Moved out of the right, straight back into him as he hit, but now moving a little more out of the right again for Johnson. Perfect angle to this back left pin.
Great opportunity throwing one in there from Dustin. Someone else that is hot early, that started here at the third, is Justin Rose. A similar spot.
Driving it in there, a little lower flight.
It's the beginning of 4 consecutive birdies. Birdie the third, birdie the fourth, this at the par 3 fifth.
150 yards today.
And then ahead at the dogleg right, par 4 sixth, almost driving the green here.
But look how low he drove that ball. Low driving in there. No wind's going to touch that. Can we tack on number 18? Or, I mean, excuse me, his last hole 9 yesterday?
Yeah, and he just birdied again here just a moment ago. 5 under through 9, and to your point, yesterday chipped in for eagle. He was 5 over for the championship coming to the last. Had to make birdie there to make the cut. Instead, chipped in for eagle.
That's 7 under his last 10 holes. That's a pretty nice run.
Wow. Yes, it is.
So remember, I kept saying chop wood. Just keep chopping. It's a term that I stole from one of my students at Texas. She's a heck of a player, but she's like, just keep chopping wood.
Usually I'm the guy with the sunshine, and you're the guy that is the Prince of Darkness. We're gonna swap roles here, Brooksy. He's going to the back 9. Back 9 has been more challenging all week. Made 2 doubles on it yesterday, so we'll see what he does.
It's been challenging, more challenging for everyone. I have those stats. 1.5 shots harder than the front to par.
Wow.
That's all. It's not like it's scoring averages 30, 40.
Dre, it may take me tripling down, quadrupling down, but at some point Jordan Spieth's going to do something from off the green, and everybody's going to go crazy at Aronimink.
This would be a good time for it. I would be shocked if this got all the way to the hole, though. It runs off quickly once it gets past it.
Well, then don't get it past it. Good lag right there. You're laughing at me.
You make it sound like the game is so easy.
No, I'm stating the obvious.
Yes.
There's a lake there. They don't hit it in the lake. Okay, it's a ridge this week. It's a slope. Don't go down there if you can help it. It's a way more strategically interesting test than they're used to. Not as predictable. And this wind has made it very interesting this week. So maybe there's aspects of the modern game that don't match Golden Age architecture very well. Super high spin.
DJ has been fantastic from this range, as you just saw on the graphic there. He was perfect yesterday, Dre.
I think he has the ability to do something today, just based off of what we've seen the first few. And the wedge shot got a little bit away from him at 1, out of position at 2, but hit a beautiful shot. And now also back in position, just flagging it.
At one point, he was 4 over on the cut line. And he has played his last 13 holes in 3 under, and now is 1 over in total, just 5 back.
I'll ask it now. What do I need to get to feel kind of like I've got a shot tomorrow? What total? 3 under, 4, 3, 4 under, kind of there.
Yeah, I would want to get to where the lead is now. You have to think that somebody from that bunch is going to get to 6 or 7 or 8.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to play any easier the later we get in the day. Really starting to crisp up.
So to your point, go get it now.
If I tried to look at the hole when I was stroking those, I think I'd actually black out.
I think I would too. I don't know if I'd make contact.
I could put my eyes closed once I got going.
Just moving your head though, yeah.
Oh, he's been doing that a long time. He doesn't do it all the time.
Let's head to 4.
Let's go 460 yards. We know now we have a slightly different direction than we had on number 2. So left to right, hurting a little bit here. And today's hole location is perched up there in the back right corner. I'm going to go out on a limb and say this one is pretty protected. Looks wide open, but going to be tough to get it back there and have a really good look at it. And yes, the wind is in off the left.
Dre, you played on tour for over a decade, played in all the biggest events. You ever have a situation where the temperature changed radically and the wind direction did as well 3 days into an event like this one? I think he's walking right now. I'm sure you did, Brooksy.
Oh my gosh. You're talking about my emotional state or the actual temperature? So here's what's interesting. And it's not that nuanced. It's pretty much in their face. These fairways slope pretty hard, right, camber right, left. If you want to hold these fairways like consistently, believe it or not, you need to turn the ball against the slope now that they're fast, meaning this would be a draw, ideally.
Okay.
So if you're going to cut it, you got to go over and use more left center of the fairway as your landing spot.
Mashed potato!
I'm playing a low fade up the center. This is also going to have to bounce straight.
And it's in the right rough. And that was sort of the point. There was some method to the madness when they went with the 40-yard wide fairways. They knew if it dried out, they would not play that wide.
Jordan has the ability to move the ball both ways off the tee. We'll see if he tries to fight this wind moving it to the left.
Well, or just hit a straight, a little more straight. Just don't put a bunch of left to right spin on the thing.
Go Bird!
He held that beautifully.
This is perfect.
Go Jordan! Go Jordan!
And for the techie nerds, don't tilt the axis so much. That was perfect. That's in the right side of the fairway, and it looked kind of left center coming out. Beautiful.
Who's going to make the big move to put themselves in position to try to win this Wanamaker Trophy? Well, through these first 2 rounds, the field to par in the back 9, 550 over, compared to just 210 on the first 9. In total, it's a shot and a half harder to play the back than it is the front. 3 holes playing under par, and then 4 holes playing 100 plus over par. You put all that together, you have 58 players within 6 shots of the lead, which is a PGA Championship record. And as we sit here right now, at just after 11:30 Eastern Time, outside of Philadelphia, there are 61 players that are now 6 shots or closer to the lead. Meaning some of those that started the day at 3 over or 4 over have made a move. But putting on these greens is problematic.
Yeah, if you're out of position.
Like Jordan was on the first hole, Mark, and he 3-putted.
We haven't been here since 1962 for a major. I was 1 year. I was still wearing diapers when they played here.
Brooks and Rory are out there. You can watch that on ESPN Plus. They start the day 5 back. Oh, my man, Ken Brown is doing a feature of. Can't wait to see that. Rosie's hot, and he's on ESPN Plus, 5 under through his first 10 holes. Shane Lowry and Brian Campbell down there in the bottom left. And our featured holes today, the drivable par 4 13th, par 5 16th.
How about ironable?
Yeah, and then the par 3 17th. So Michael Kim is even way right down there.
He got off to a rough start on the backside after his opening 5 under front side. He went double bogey.
DJ from the rough, ready to go.
A real matted down lie, tough to control. Gotta go.
Out of position and pays the price. And now Spieth from the mayor's office.
Yep. 141, there's plenty of room right for it. And having 7 paces right, I think you can take dead aim here. Just really needs to lock in on this number. Not a whole lot of room long, and it does start to slope away.
PGA Junior League is bringing friends, families, and communities together through golf, all with expert PGA and LPGA coaching. Find a team near you at PGAJuniorLeague.com.
I've seen that program in action, and they love it. And they play all over the different clubs, different golf courses, and they play like team golf a lot. So, you know, kids can be all different skill levels and still have a blast.
Andy North and I have done the coverage of that with our director, Chris Ohlmeyer, and it is such a blast. Alex Smalley and Maverick McNeely at 4 under par. Tee off at 240. Will they be the leaders when they tee off at 240? Look at all these world-class players chasing. Young, Rose, Oberg, English, Rahm, Day, Cantlay. Siwoo Kim's won the Players Championship. And Rory's making a move, 1 under through his first 2, now only 4 back. Remember, he shot 4 over in the first round, 3 under, bogey-free yesterday. Although he still wasn't thrilled with the setup of the golf course afterwards.
Who's that? So let me give you another frustrating part. You're 130, 140 yards from the hole, and you're having to play a safety to 50 feet away. They hate that. You know, they're out there 200 yards out, they'd understand it and play a different type of shot, but it's like it's so luring when you have shorter shots to try to get it in there close.
I love all the possibilities that are left, that's for sure.
And there's a lot of possibilities in this shot too. A lot of different ways to play it. Often upslope, and this thing is sitting way down, so really is based off his ability to judge this lie.
Ball change up a little.
He seems baffled.
One under on his round through the first three, but a lengthy par attempt here at 4.
Decent look here for Jordan, straight back up the hill.
I mean, case in point, Dustin had about 115 yards to the front of the green. He's got about a curling 12-footer for par, so.
A lot of these balls that find the rough off of the tee, you can get a club on it and it just kind of teases you to try to make things happen, when really you can just play out to the middle of the green. I don't think that's going to hurt you all day long here.
Masters and U.S. Open, beating Dustin Johnson, by the way, and the 2017 Open champion. 13 PGA Tour wins for Jordan, but this is the longest winless drought of his career. It's been 86 starts since he won in Harbor Town 4 years ago.
And check that, we got 18 feet for par.
Mark, not only have these greens been fast all week, but there's just so many little subtle breaks in it. It's hard to really pick a line that you're confident in. So whatever happens, whatever you read here, you need to get over the putt thinking that is the correct read and just try to make a confident stroke. But I'm having trouble reading a lot of these putts so far this week.
You can see how far out Austin was pointing. Probably 4 feet out. Just looking for a spot out there. Call it the apex. Find somewhere you got to get it at least high enough to give the putt a chance.
It's going to try to pick up a little speed as it turns left down the slope.
Fall back to even on the round and 2 over in total.
So I would classify that an unforced error. Second shot.
Thought of Hope, they're like 6 feet out.
We talk about these hot rounds that are out on the course. How about Chris Kirk? This at the par 3 fifth, already 2 under on his round.
I'm sure that was a little 9-iron. Make that, left it right under the hole.
And then at the 6th.
A little over 20 feet. Again, putting up the slope.
Birdied 7, did give one back at 8, and then this just a moment ago at the 11th.
At a back left hole location where it was the first day.
Oh, yeah. 5 under on the round, 2 under in total, and now just 2 off the lead.
Took a little hard draw in there at 11 to keep the spin off of it.
I showed you him making birdie here, so the circles are available. Here at the first par 3 on the course.
It's 144 yards to the front of this large undulating green. You got to definitely take this one on. It's in a bit of a bowl down there.
A 150 playing downhill 3 paces. Should be negated by the wind, though.
Any day now, wind.
Pretty big
Wow.
pull.
Not moving it right at all. And didn't hit it at all either, huh?
That was a pretty long 9-iron in the air. Pulled it, shut the face down.
Dustin's also got a 9-iron in his hands. He's going to have to take something off here. 147 adjusted, probably playing right around that 150. Just a breath into him.
Yeah, it's just almost a hammer wedge for these guys.
Dustin Johnson and Jordan Spieth on a Saturday in the PGA Championship. Golf here in Philadelphia is phenomenal. Of course, we're here at Aronimink, just right down the road, Marion, where they've had the US Open a number of times. The top-rated golf course in the world isn't far away, just over the border in New Jersey at Pine Valley. You've got Philadelphia Country Club, White Marsh Valley, and Philly Cricket Club isn't far away at a PGA Tour event there last year.
Marion's about to host a USAM soon. Let's not forget Gulf Mills. Awesome little track.
Rolling Green.
Rolling Green. Yeah, there's a ton. There's probably 20.
Gary Player winning here in the PGA 64 years ago. Rosie has had a chance a number of times, and he's in the fight again this week.
Do you know who the president was? Of course you do. 1962.
JFK.
Yeah.
We need a golf tournament in Philly every year, I think, in men's professional golf. Jordan Spieth from long range here.
Pretty straight overall, but downhill the entire way. Needs to get the speed right.
I think he did. That's 20 yards past the hole location, Andres. 61 feet. Not many greens, courses that have greens where you'd still be on the green when you're 20-something yards away. It's good lag there.
And Dustin's very similar, just from a different angle, working back down the slope. A little bit of a double breaker, but net straight overall. A little bit to the left, back to the right at the end.
And I wasn't kidding about the pitching wedge. So 44 front, down 3, 41. Just make a 2.
See that Live logo on the back of his hat. Went to Live just over 4 years ago, and he has.
He went to Live?
He sure did. He has 30 wins all over the world, 24 on the PGA Tour, 3 on Live. He did say yesterday, you know, with the funding changing out there, he doesn't know what the future holds for him next year, but he very much still wants to compete. And I think all of us want him to compete. It is more fun having Dustin Johnson in a big golf tournament.
You're going to get that same consensus from all the players, too. Well liked out here.
Good effort there.
Yep. But I mean, combine those 2 shots, they were over 100 feet from the hole. From 150 on a peg. Overthinking.
Things could get fun here at 6 with a different wind today, Brooksy.
Yeah, well, they need to get turned on because the test gets stronger as you move through the back 9. Starts at 10, actually. Anywhere out in here. Doesn't really matter what you hit off the tee. Driver, 3-wood, just something that's 280 out there. Very friendly wind today. Pushing down over your right shoulder. Today's hole location's back there in a little trough. You still want to be short and right of it.
See the numbers for the week. But today, 10 birdies, just 2 bogeys here.
302 on the bunker, 307 to the fairway.
So is that the center line? I'm at the last bunker, right? 344 line?
Yeah, that's 336.
So it's actually left, just left to the pines. Okay.
The wind is a little bit down for these players. That last bunker on the right-hand side.
Is there, should it be in a certain direction?
South-southwest is.
Okay, dead straight.
Straight.
310 to cover it. It does play up 5, so 307, but there's this wind picking up right now directly at their back. This is perfect.
Yeah, Jordan. Thanks.
All the way out of frame, way down there.
What's my max right line on this again? We definitely are being sent this 300. Okay, we want to get right at that one. Yes. First.
Now, less than driver for Dustin here. That first bunker through the fairway, about 300 yards.
Oh,
So he's tugged this.
Pull left. Left.
Hopefully everyone's okay over there.
PGA Hope, which stands for Helping Our Patriots Everywhere, took center stage to kick off PGA Championship week at the annual Secretary's Cup. This event, considered the veterans' major, shines a light on this life-saving program that serves those who served.
PGA Hope is so much bigger than golf. Shows you that light that you keep moving, keep going, keep swinging a club. You never know whose life you're going to touch. They've obviously touched mine in so many ways.
Well, I can't help but think what it means to them, what it means to me. I know what it means to me to be their pro. So we've already won, man.
It's been life-changing, especially as I was losing my vision. It's given me life back where I didn't think there was hope, and the PGA provided that.
There's a bond there. There's a culture there. As a veteran, I am honored to be in their presence.
You don't realize how much you'll miss the camaraderie. You find a program like Hope, it brings you back together with a lot of people that you have a lot in common with that the outside world might not recognize. It's just really special.
It sure is. And we salute each and every one of you for all that you have done for us. What a wonderful program from the PGA of America. And what a beautiful day here in Newtown Square, Pennsylvania. It has warmed up considerably. It was cold the last couple of days with a north wind, and it's now out of the south and west. Dustin Johnson, double cross there. And Jordan Spieth just 60 yards in front of the green. We have seen a number of players, the deeper they go into the rough, the better lie they have. And we'll see if that's the case with Dustin Johnson here in just a moment. And you made a good point just a minute ago, Mark. These players are all unfamiliar with Aronimink, at least in major championship play. They portion of the field played here on the PGA Tour 8 years ago. A couple played 15 and 16 years ago, like Dustin Johnson did. But that was set up for a PGA Tour event, and it was before Gil Hanse and Jim Wagner came in here to make some significant
and it was a
renovations.
Wet week.
That's right. Back in 2018 it was. Yep. See most of it.
It's almost sitting on a little tuft of grass, so you could probably hit a driver off of it if you wanted to. It's kind of teed up, so he's going to have no problem getting the ball up in the air.
Oh, what a shot.
Sure, go ahead. Thank you.
One could argue that tee shot wasn't properly punished.
Of
Jordan, just feel one in there. A little low driver, triple checker, triple skipper. You've had tens of thousands of these.
He's so good at them.
Just do it. Don't think about it. Oh, huh? Great feel is not overrated.
There's another look at Dustin Johnson taking advantage of a good lie in the rough. Plant some trees. Well, they took him out. I'm kidding. Sort of. I understand your point.
I mean, come on.
But you have to take advantage, and he did.
And that was the right hole location. He didn't do it on purpose, but he wouldn't have been in very good shape to the first 2 rounds hole locations, I'll tell you that.
Birthday boy wants to see some birdies.
Tell me about it.
Well, if they can read these putts, you got a good shot.
And that's easier said than done. These greens have so much movement in them. Add insult to injury now. And Dustin's ball is halfway in the shadows.
Two players out there that are hot. Chris Kirk and Justin Rose both at 5 under. And as I say that, Sunday's winner in Charlotte, Christopher Rayton, now 4 under through 13. All those players started the day at 3 over par for the championship, and they're all now in red figures. Rayton at 1 under, Rose and Kirk at 2 under. If anything's going to happen, it has to include a birdie here.
He's going to need to give away the right edge of this hole, breaking to the left the entire way.
You just have to wonder the last couple of days, all those misses, how they continue to impact you. I don't know how they couldn't.
They are. They are impacting.
It sounds like behind this group, we had a guy, somebody just drive the green here.
You know, I wondered about that,
and
honestly.
I believe that's Rory McIlroy that just drove the green.
I'm not surprised.
I would assume that Dustin Johnson took notice of that after hitting 3-wood off the tee. He's like, oh, maybe tomorrow. Now, these are some of the hardest putts to read. It looks dead straight. I don't think this is going to do anything. I'm just trying to find something in it. I'm trying not to overthink it at this point.
Might have been a good week to employ a high-quality local caddy to go with you for a couple of days. Because we know they keep these greens fast for the membership as well.
Very delicate putt here. You're making such a small stroke. Hard to get it on the right line.
Wiggled right.
Well, we showed you that golf ball on the front of the green. Here's the shot from Rory McIlroy, coming off birdie at the 5th. The 13th is drivable today, and so is the 6th.
It's at the top of the tree, right?
By the way, Christopher Rayton almost made a 1 on 13 and ended up, he hit the flagstick there at 13 and ended up making eagle. And now McIlroy will have a eagle putt here in just a minute on this drivable par 4. That's par for Jordan. It's fun to watch these two play together again. We don't get to see that very often these days. Takes you back, doesn't it? Chambers Bay, 2015. Spieth, after that birdie that he made at 16, and then at 18, talking to it. And in that bowl, caroms all the way down in front of the hole, 2-putt birdie, and Spieth posts 5 under par. But DJ had an eagle putt to win. And then a birdie putt to tie. And Spieth won the first 2 majors of the year. He's the last person to do that. 11 years ago. Of course, Rory McIlroy could do it this week.
Gentlemen, you're clear.
Dustin would get revenge the following year at Oakmont. Incredible performance winning the U.S. Open in 2016 on that beast of a golf course.
And that last round also was not without.
Right, that's right, on the 8th hole.
Yeah, a little anxiety.
7th here. Blind tee shot here, Brooksy.
It is. They know where to go. They've got some tall fescue covered hummocks or mounds in the right rough. They can actually cover those today if they, a lot of these guys, if they want to take it way down there. Again, dogleg right, fairway sloping hard right to left, the opposite direction. Kind of a hard cut here would fit.
The wind should help that, moving hard to the right. This is heading towards those hummocks.
And that's in them. Big mistake.
And there's going to be some tree trouble to that shortcut pin on the front right portion. That's going to be most likely a punch out. That wind's moving enough off the left. Need to start this a little extra to that left-hand side.
Hard. Shot, DJ. Go, Dustin.
Probably go through. Yep.
It's a beautiful day here at Aronimink in the 3rd round of the PGA Championship.
What a feeling to be locked into a battle with another human being in front of millions of other human beings with nowhere to hide, nobody to blame if it goes wrong. Golf is about hitting a ball. Professional golf is about competition. It's moving day at the PGA Championship.
See a couple of guys out there, right, Thompson, that are making a huge move. Jordan Spieth and Dustin Johnson both at 2 over right now, 6 shots back. Justin Rose is 5 under through 12. And now at 2 under, and Chris Kirk is 6 under through 13 holes today, and now just 1 off of the lead. Chris Gotterup has the best scorer of the week. That was the guy you have your eyes on today. 65 yesterday. Gotterup. I think that a 65 or lower could be out there today. Spieth in the hummocks over to the right, and Dustin Johnson just through the fairway, way down there on the left.
Taylor, I think Jordan Spieth is in a world of trouble right now, even just trying to chop it out back towards the fairway. If he gets this thing running, it can easily roll through. But talking to the volunteers over there that were spotting the ball, they said this is one of the worst lies of the week that they've seen.
Just trying to hit where I did yesterday.
Yeah.
Should be easier from there.
Yeah, exactly.
That bunker is okay on the left side?
Yeah, the left one would be better.
No, I can't get to the left. You're talking about the left one. Yeah. Oh, I can't get it right.
Should be mainly off the left, like 13 front.
This is really a pretty good shot. This is all he can do.
Well, the more left it goes, Jordan's left, the better it gets. So just keep going. Pitch up the slope. This whole location's kind of right, a little bit. It's on the right front, basically.
Brooksy, that was a great shot. That ball could have gone anywhere. Ooh, this is pretty.
Dustin Johnson playing. And here's the shot on Andres Gonzalez was just mentioning. Just can't control it out of the rough, but a nice shot from Johnson. Meanwhile, Rory did 2-putt for birdie back behind these guys at the 6th, so he's now at 1 under. Rose making a move at 2 under. Kirk at 3 under. All before these groups tee off that are at 2, 3, and 4 under par. Scheffler is off in an hour and a half at 1:40 here on ESPN Plus. Justin Thomas and Cam Young at 2 o'clock at 2 under.
You know, Cam Young, playing a lot of Northeast golf around that New York zone, New Jersey area. He's seen these type of conditions quite a bit as a kid growing up. Meaning understanding the style that's required.
Mav McNeely and Alex Smalley at 240. Spieth with his 3rd.
Oh, he knifed this a little bit.
Way up there. I'll give you a little help.
throughout 2026, guys, Jordan Spieth has shown signs. He started the year ranked outside the top 75. In fact, he was 89th in February, and he's now 51st in the world. He's been gaining on it with solid weeks, top 25s, basically making a cut just about every week. He made 11 of 12 cuts so far this week, but he just has been unable to put 72 holes together. You see phenomenal ball striking on Thursday and or Friday, and then just has a day like the way this one is starting, just is unable to shake each week.
Well, a bulky putter will eventually bleed into the rest of your game. It's been going on for 400 years. I'm a little surprised he hasn't experimented, at least in competition more with different style putters. I mean, different style, not just a different color, ping answer style. Yes, I'm giving.
And you wonder how much of that is psychological, right? He's been putting, it's known for being a great putter with this style in his hand. Does he really want to switch?
Well, we're not talking about a situation where if it ain't broke. Ben Crenshaw is one of the few greats that I can remember that really never changed styles. And at least for a little while. Doesn't mean they don't go back.
Right. I mean, even Tiger Woods for a little while has benched that world famous gamer of his.
And I think Jordan, I'm probably wrong. He probably has had a different putter or two, but it's like, man, go for it. Would Nicklaus win the 86 Masters with?
The Fang.
Not 86.
Yeah.
That was
it's the White Fang.
The Response.
No, it's the White Fang. There's a book on it.
86. 1986. When he won the Masters, it was with the Response. Monster thing. Yes, sir.
I've read the book, my friend.
Well, that was the early one. I'm going when he was 46 years old. He changed putters many times in his career. Things change. Your brain changes, your eyes change.
Well, Dustin's been hitting nice lines most of the day. A little bit of a misread at the last. I'm expecting to see one from this range go in at some point.
Pretty hard to give that one much of a rip from there. It's not that complicated a Rubik's Cube right now. I mean, if you look at it, and even Scotty Scheffler yesterday, he missed the first 7 fairways he played, kind of like no birdie putts. Sort of same thing here. Regardless of the yardage from the hole, you need to have the ball in the fairway. And they're tough to hit right now.
They head to the par 3 8th, which has brought players to its knees this week.
241, 173. Now we're going to go from 198 today to a front left hole location. There it is over there.
And we were talking about this with Natalie earlier. After over 60 years, the PGA Championship will make a historic return to Dallas-Fort Worth in 2027. Join us next May at the home of the PGA of America in Frisco as we welcome the strongest field in golf back to Texas. To register for tickets, visit pgachampionship.com/register. Registration closes soon.
Here it is, Mark.
198, down about 11, 10, round it off. They're not that good. 190-yard shot. Kind of down off the left. And that's a pretty small target. These will be 7, 8 irons today. And of course, the safe zone is there on the right side of that circle, not the left side. So in off the left. West, southwest. You got to kind of turn it back in there. It doesn't really fit a cut here.
So 197 down to
Mark, there is a little bit of hurt here, but I'd say 90% of it's off the left-hand side.
It is
cheeky little pin, though.
Straight left to right. It's definitely hurt.
Yes, on the upwind side of the hole. So you got to force a draw in there, or kind of straight at it, let it drift over there. 30 feet past, 30 feet right. Player's choice.
Really tough to get this shot close, though. There's just not much room up on that little peninsula left of this green.
Well, if you look at an aerial map, I brought it up yesterday. The front nine is essentially a, I want to say, I'll get it backwards, counterclockwise loop.
No, so we're just,
you know, with one or two holes going a little bit different, and the back nine,
it was just showing.
It goes the other direction.
But now it looks like it moves a little off guard.
Yes, front nine is a counterclockwise loop. The back nine is a clockwise loop. So
you got left to right, cut your hurt. Yeah, it's a lot of left to right now, but it's back to where it should be. I know, but what are you thinking? I still think he's got a little bit of hurt in it. I know, but what club? 187. What's the front? Oh, that's not bad. I don't mind hitting straight up the front.
Different subtle changes in directions. So you'll
there's so many different options on how to hit this shot. Also, this is a 7-iron, 188 adjusted downhill.
Well, I suggest picking one option and doing it the best you can.
Set.
Pretty darn good.
Those flags are straight sideways.
Not unlike the second par 3 on the front nine in Georgia.
Yeah, I
pin.
Do not disagree with that. Just on DJ's line.
That's a hard one to get to, that tiny little shelf.
Yeah, he did not land that far right of it, and you could just see how that ridge collected the ball down towards the middle, leaving himself outside of 30 feet.
These flags are coming straight off the left.
You know, Andres, sometimes you just have to, you're a hell of a player, and still are. Sometimes you just have to make a ball do something.
Yeah, this is one of those shots also. I mean, unless you just want to play it out to where Dustin's ball is and take that 35-footer, but...
Which is fine.
Yeah, it's not bad at all. It's just a hard golf shot. If you want to get something going, you have to read the wind right, shape the shot right.
That's correct.
Where's the shot DJ hit?
Well, I just don't know if I can hit that far. Yeah. Or else I'd hit that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to hit it where he hit it.
Yeah, right now I like that club, that wind.
And this is a 6-iron for Jordan. taking a little more of a direct line.
Hit him with the high!
Yeah, Jordan! You got it, Jordan.
Drop that.
Not far from where he was looking. It's lunchtime here in Philly, and you know what that means. You have a big decision, though. Which one are you going to go to get a world-famous Philly cheesesteak? There he is, the defending champion, Scottie Scheffler. And he is on the tee in over an hour, at an hour and 15 minutes. David Puig playing with him, also at 2 under par. Both 2 off of the lead, and for very good reason. When you look at all those names overnight, your eyes immediately go to Scheffler. Tee shots from Spieth and Johnson at the 8th.
This is where you're going to see a lot of golf balls here today. Anything that lands right at that pin is just slowly going to take some speed and build up some momentum down towards the center of this green, and now both long uphill putts. They should be climbing and moving left. You get too far outside left, though, and there is a false back edge there. Shouldn't be a problem, though.
50 feet.
It's been burning edges the last 24 hours. Here's Rory waiting back on the tee. 2 under through his first 7 holes. Marquis has done exactly what he's needed to do to get back into this championship after bogeying the last 4 holes, including this one on Thursday morning, and being 4 over par, and describing his round by using a one-worded word that I'm not going to use, but
rats.
He 3 birdies, 15 pars yesterday, 3 birdies and a bogey in the first 7 holes today.
Oh, you're talking about how you described how he played the first day?
Yes.
It was junk. He said it was junky, dirty.
Rory has his eyes on what's happening here on the green, trying to pay close attention, Dre.
Yeah, he should be. Not going to be able to see much from up there, though. Dustin hasn't got a lot of these putts to the hole.
Good, Dustin.
You just got to keep telling yourself they're going to fall. He's hitting a lot of good lines so far today.
I don't think that's something that gets talked about enough, is how much time you guys as tour players, Mark, Andres Gonzalez, spend watching everything else that's happening on the course around you, on other holes, on the hole in front of you, watching the other groups play, how balls are reacting. Such a critical part to success, getting as much information as you can. Good two-putt. We'll head to the par 5 9th tee. Jordan Spieth says if he can win only one more tournament in his life, he wants to win this one and complete the career Grand Slam. Lots to look ahead to here on Saturday. It is a packed leaderboard, so many in with a chance, but of those names that start today at the top, you might be able to race further in front. You get to moving day, that's when you start looking around at the chasers. Which guys out early might be able to post a number, set this place buzzing. No matter what position you're in, you have to handle these par threes. And all that and more, the top contenders will be teeing off this afternoon, the third round from the PGA Championship. Chris Kirk is 6 under through 14 holes today, playing the par 4 15th.
Come on, DJ.
Longest holes ever, or par 4 at least, in major championship history. And Justin Rose 5 under through 14 holes today. Xander's off to a hot start. He's 3 under through 7, and Rory is in red figures now at 1 under par. As Spieth and DJ get ready to play the 607-yard 9th.
Again, the breeze direction change make this fairway that tilts left to right easier to hit.
All right, you're good.
We should see some leashes come off these dogs right here.
Yeah, right, just almost straight downwind. Did he whiff cut it?
Whiff cut it, and it landed 297 and rolls out to 330.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to bring it up. That set of bunkers up the right actually will be in play for some of these guys today.
Just under 340 to them today. But if you can cover those bunkers on the left-hand side, only a 300 carry downwind should not be a problem for Jordan. A little bit of a speed slot that ramps it down, gets it shooting up the fairway.
Be off the right, a yard.
Nice, Jordan! Let's go, Jordan!
I hit softly.
It's just fine. The iconic Liberty Bell. There is so much history in the city of Philadelphia for the PGA Championship.
True or false moments in Phillies sports history. Phillies fans threw batteries at Cardinals outfielder J.D. Drew.
I would believe that was true, unless it was not batteries and something worse.
That is so outlandish, it has to be true.
I wouldn't put it past them. It's nothing against Philly fans. Luckily, I've been on the good side.
There was a courtroom and a jail under Veterans Stadium.
Oh, I think that's false.
That is actually true.
True? Wow. This must be bad.
An Eagles fan was arrested.
True.
For punching a police horse.
A police horse? That's gotta be true.
That is true.
Dang. From San Diego, man, this is tough.
Answer stands.
That is correct. It is true.
I haven't heard the fan side of the story, though.
In 2001, Ty Domi fought Flyers fans inside the penalty box.
Yeah, hockey, true. They love a fight.
Yeah, those fans seem like they'd end up inside the penalty box. Yeah, true.
I gotta look that up. That sounds awesome.
I love how Jordan said true before they even asked him the question. That's got to be just, it's true. Philly, yes, true. This place is something else. Kyle Schwarber might hit 80 home runs this year for the Philadelphia Phillies, by the way. I don't know if anyone's paying attention to that. That guy's a machine. 20 already?
55 on the left. 77. What's is that? Oh, we don't have that.
It is go time, downwind.
Where's the pin? not too bad there. You just can't miss the left.
Even better downwind, just a touch out of the right to a back left pin.
Down low off the right.
I'm thinking it's a 4-iron, but not opposed to hybrid if it's the right play.
I think this has to get 255 to get up.
What?
This has to get 255.
It has to get 240 in the air, and if it does that, it would get easily there. But that's where I was thinking that's flat. You know what I'm saying? Can you shoot it? Happy to.
69, I'm shooting.
Unless you tell me that like just over is better.
69 plus 12.
So it's a couple more than I have. Yeah. No, it's not far off. I only played it on
69 is before that.
Just what Donald Ross had in mind right here.
It's not too bad.
You can go link style. If you do, you need to land this ball 10 or 12 yards short of the green, maybe 15 yards short in the flat, so it'll.
I mean, I think if this just goes, over, it's fine. Versus,
I just don't know if this can get on the green. I think I'm right in between because I'd like to land it short.
Yeah.
Heat, but I'm not gonna like punch this.
Yeah. I don't think 4 can get all the way up there. 260.
It's 55 on. Just try to hit this as high as I can.
Yeah, and it's off the right a little bit if you want to hold it.
So hold it a smidge.
Yeah.
All right, Dre, 4 irons back in the bag.
Yes, back left, yep.
And they're going with hybrid.
Yeah, the only thing he has to worry about here is going long. Uphill 12 paces up to 282. 255 to the front edge.
Up 10.
Why are you moving left? First cut over there.
Yeah.
Wind is off the right a little bit there.
And now DJ.
Well, this is different from 263. This is a 5-iron.
Go hard.
Gotta go.
Sounded heavy.
Not really sure about that play with the 5-iron.
Well, darn sure didn't work when you land the club behind the ball.
Oh, those two guys have been close in the PGA Championship. We mentioned DJ, 6 top 10s, including 2 seconds. Jordan Spieth, second to Jason Day back in 2015 at Whistling Straits. What he wouldn't give to take Mark Brooks's Wanamaker trophy.
Yeah, I'd sell it.
You're easy to find.
Well,
he'd love to join you for that dinner.
He could afford it
on Tuesday night.
I'd price it right for him. He deserves one.
Next year in Frisco, Mark Brooks is unavailable. He is, and Jordan Spieth's here instead. He sold him the Wanamaker trophy. And just under an hour right here on this feed. It's Scotty Scheffler and David Puig. 1:40 Eastern time. Scotty starts the day 2 behind. Chris Kirk 6 under through 15 holes on his round. 1 back. Justin Rose 5 under and 2 back. About Xander Schauffele 3 under through 7. He's now 2 back.
I agree with you. Your assessment earlier. You'd like to probably be at 4 or better starting tomorrow. 3, maybe. So Justin Rose and Chris Kirk, they could both stand one more.
Yeah.
And they got the par 5 downwind, 16th hole. They'll hit 5 less clubs into that than they will the par 4 that they just finished. 15's kind of the real deal today.
These two have quite the streak of consecutive major championship starts going. Jordan has the second longest active streak, by the way, as you see the front page of the board there. Smalley and McNeely in that last group in just under 2 hours.
And how many is that?
Jordan has played in 52 straight majors.
Wow.
And Dustin Johnson has played in 36 in a row. The longest streak, of course, belongs to Adam Scott, playing in his 99th straight major championship, and he is in the U.S. Open next month at Shinnecock, and he'll make it 100 straight.
That's incredible.
A lot of green to work with uphill the entire way.
He wishes he didn't have that much green to work with. Let's see. Saddle. Don't you dare get past that hole.
Beautiful.
This is a really awkward stance. A little bit unfortunate to have this ball get deep enough into the rough where he's standing so far below it. And outside the lie, a pretty basic shot. The lie is sitting very clean, almost up on a little bit of a tee, but you're not practicing this a whole lot when you're gripping the club up to the shaft.
Pretty handy right there. And no, sir, those are not gimmies. Just on the wrong side of the hole. Not a lot of slope back here. We're inside the 2% area.
Just want to keep you as updated as we can. Appreciate you following us here to watch Spieth and DJ. Chris Rayton just birdied the par 5 16th. He's 5 under on the round now, 2 under, 2 back. Justin Rose playing the hole right now at 2 under in total. Jordan Spieth is searching for his first birdie of the day.
Needs it. After that drive, you'd hate to walk away from the 9th with a par. This is a good look, but the wind will be at his back when he's addressing the ball. It should be breaking a little bit to his left, but these are just quick enough. It creates a little bit of stress.
There you go.
Nice rhythm. Seemed to be still a little bit of indecision before he hit that second shot. They had plenty of time to assess it. It's just like he never just dug into one shot and real committed. It's got right to left in it.
Yeah, and it's down slope. This is very similar to the birdie putt that he had at 6. It's a little bit shorter, but again, he's not hitting this very far. If he hits this about 10 inches, it'll get there.
Yep. Couple nice up and downs there.
Dustin 1 under on his round. Spieth 1 over. Oh, Jordan. Oh, Jordan. I love it. All ages here at the PGA.
Well, we're going to move over from the reachable ninth, turn back the opposite direction, and play a 474-yard par 4. It's really the only water-covered penalty area that comes into play, and it does. It's going to definitely have influence on the way you play the hole. Again, different wind direction today. Going to be off the left. Move the tees up a little bit.
This up the left edge and trying to cut. Needs to kick straight.
Very likely to run off into the... Hopefully it stays in the first cut.
That's one of the gnarliest first cuts I've seen, Mark.
Well, the actual first cut is only about 3 feet wide. Feels like a foot wide. It's a common cut up here in the Northeast.
This is heading way right of the bunkers. This is heading towards the 9th fairway.
I don't think it reached the fairway.
Let's check in with Natalie. Dustin Johnson's swing is one that's fun to watch, Natalie.
Absolutely one of the most unique, or one of many unique swings on the PGA Tour. We know he has that super bowed wrist at the top of the backswing, which closes the face a lot. But I wanted to share with you why that works for him. You hear a lot about matchups in golf swings, right? And for Dustin, what works for him is because he has that closed face, he adds a lot of side bend this way and a lot of rotation through the golf ball, which helps him get back to a square position. At impact, those are both openers of the club face, so he matches those things up with that really closed club face at the top. Now, not something I would suggest for many of you at home, but that is why his swing generally works for him.
It is one that he has patented for well over a decade. And it's interesting that years ago, at the beginning of his career, he, by and large, was playing the ball from right to left, and then all of a sudden decided that he was going to play a cut, and that's his shot.
So we can go deep dive if you want, but he's in full flexion at the top. He goes into extension coming down, and I can explain that fairly easily. He is not bowed at impact like he is at the top of his backswing. And when he goes through his left wrist, if you had a watch, it's like his back of his left wrist is trying to touch his watch. I'll take DJ here. We're scrambling. Your partner's Jordan over there.
Oh, thanks.
Okay. And we hammered. We doubled coming off the tee.
Rejected. Rejected. I guess we'll go to 11 then.
Okay. Well.
Yeah. What makes you get to take DJ here?
Because you wanted Jordan on 9. We're trading partners every other hole.
I don't know, actually. Jordan's great from these positions.
So did I make sense on this wrist thing? Okay, bowed left wrist, closed club face. It's not still that bowed at impact, trust me. It's going, that's called flexion. It's going into extension, so it's still bowed, but not as much. And when he goes on the front side, it's actually.
But is it more bowed than somebody that doesn't bow it?
Not necessarily, because of look, there's physics involved here. So the reason he hits a cut, because his path is left of where his face is. His face is slightly open to his path and impact, no question. That's physics. So if you think about it, there's no way he returns down there with a face, 10 degrees closed. It would be closed to the path, therefore he would hit a hook, pull hook. So it's not that complicated. My point is his wrist is changing. That wrist condition is changing on the downswing. It doesn't go bowed and stay bowed. That should make sense.
It does.
So if you went up the top and you were cupped, like I was, open face, I had to go the other way coming down. I was bowing my wrist to get the club face closed to hit a draw. You can't beat physics. And so then you get to throw a little bit of biomechanic things in there, and it's not that complicated.
Now that I've seen Jordan Spieth's lie and that what he has left, I'm accepting your hammer.
I know.
Because I think his lie is better than DJ's, and instead of standing in the middle of the fairway, Spieth has to be creative here, and he's the best in the world at that.
And air hammers in play? Do you know what air hammers are?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay. You might even, when this ball takes off, you might even hammer it in the air.
How is this live for DJ? Did you see it, Dre?
Can't be great. Yeah, it's sitting all right. Got to play out to the right, I would assume. And that ball looked like it jumped a little bit on him.
Yeah. Hammer.
Whoa. Oh, that's going to be a very interesting, complicated pitch. Putt, pitch.
Hey guys, because I think I maybe started already. Started right by like 5 yards.
You did make mention that we're an hour faster.
Oh yeah.
For 9 holes versus the early
yeah,
week.
Obviously playing in twos.
Good, Michael. Good.
Almost half the field left,
Thanks.
but
well, it's
nice.
Yeah, it's kind of a traffic thing. Less cars on the freeway, less traffic.
Ton of birdies too. We had 166 and 165 yesterday. We had a bunch of 67s. We have all these rounds of 4 under or better out there on the course. Got 5 of them out there.
It's warmer and a different wind direction. This is what they played practice rounds in. So
Chris Kirk's 3 under, Rose Rayton 2 under. Rory McIlroy just birdied the 9th to get to 2 under, just 2 back. Brooks Koepka just made eagle to get to 1 under. All right, here's Spieth, 199 to go.
Matted down grass, should be able to make clean contact. Just needs to keep it down and right of the water. He's at the right half of the green. Needs to stay left.
Okay. I'm planting more trees. I'm going to plant more trees.
It's understandable with water left there.
I'm talking about, the wild shots, and part of it's not new to major championships. If you hit a wild one, you duck the heaviest rough. That's been going on for a long time. I don't know how you stand on a tee though and say I'm either going to make a perfect swing or I'm going to hit it sideways. So I don't know that that's much of a strategy.
Well, if you hit the fairway on the 10th hole, it's a pretty generous pin location right in the center.
Yes.
But off the left, off the right, tough.
Oh, he just talked about it. Rory, after a bogey at 4, bounces back with birdie at 5.
I guarantee he hit wedge.
At 6, he drives the green here.
That's a little different gear. That's hitting the turbo boost. I don't even want to tell you people how far it is to the front edge of that green, but I'll let you in on it.
Flies it over John McGinnis there, 2-putt birdie. And after pars at 7 and 8, third shot at the par 5 9th. That's beautiful. Under the hole.
Yes. Putting right up the hill.
Great start for McIlroy. 3 under through 9 on his round. 3 under yesterday. 2 under now in total, 2 back.
I'll let you. 3. That was the front number.
That's Dustin Johnson tapping in there. That's the tee shot 370 that Rory hit on 6.
It was.
Yeah.
It was wind aided, slightly uphill. That was sporty right there. The odds are we're going to tie this hole. Jordan's getting this up and down.
Well, he's going to need to get this up quickly here, Mark.
Yeah, it's got that one big knob, it looks like, in the way.
And it's going to propel it forward, so he's going to be trying to throw a lot of check on this ball, maybe be able to use that back ridge.
Hit the side of it.
That was tasty.
All right, let's go to the next one. Nice.
These two guys have been friends for a long time, playing in Ryder Cups and President's Cups as teammates for many years. They head to the 11th.
417 today. Again, wind change in off the right. Probably no reason to not drive it down there today. That's probably 10 feet away from where the first round hole location was. Pretty much 2 hole location areas, but to back left up here or over there on that right front, sort of right front center. They do have one right over that left front bunker if they wanted to use it, but they'll probably shy away from it.
We're going to join Scotty Scheffler's group when he tees off at 140. We should be able to show you the drivable par 4 13th before that happens, which will be fun to watch this afternoon.
Perfect side, right center.
That was pretty darn straight. Caught it out there on the toe a little bit.
Dre, we've been talking about all these other groups and all these other birdies that are out there. Do you think it continues this afternoon as all these leaders get on the golf course?
I think this is definitely an easier win for all these players. They seem to be more comfortable. And the pins have been fairly gettable today too. Breeze starting to pick up at the moment though.
Yep. Yours if you want it. Yeah.
Perfect starts for Spieth and DJ here at 11. Chris Kirk is 7 under through 17 holes today, and now he's tied for the lead in the PGA Championship. You knew it was out there. Scotty Scheffler's 2 back. He is right here on ESPN Plus in 36 minutes. Yeah.
The PGA Championship from Aronimink. There are 58 players within 6 of the lead, the most in history.
McNeely going on a run.
Michael Kemp, he is making everything he looks at.
Lying wait, and these golfers are now taking advantage.
Moving them. What a story we have unfolded.
Collins, take me home out of the break. Let's go. Chris Kirk is on his way home. 7 under through 17.
Don't stop. Get another one.
Gets another one. He ties the major championship scoring record. A bunch of 62s in the history of majors. And there's a number of 62s here that were shot on the PGA Tour. At the beginning of the week, we walked out there and thought, yeah, there's going to be a 63, 64. Then it turned cold and a north wind fought back against these players. Now the wind is out of the south and the scoring has improved significantly. Johnson and Spieth, great drives here at 11.
I think it's almost straight up.
Dre, we were just watching John Perry. He's in the group ahead of us. He hit it above the flagstick here. No chance. And barely kept it on the front of the green.
That's not fun.
No, compared to like racing down a one-way the wrong direction. Out of control. Yes, I've done that. They're still waiting to finish ahead, I believe. 122. I hope they're talking about the Cowboys' football schedule.
Yeah. Who cares, Mark?
Well, I just meant so he can stay out of that book. It's 122. He knows what to do. A little drive and draw. They know what the bounce is going to be now.
Wait till the Tennessee Titans get a hold of the Cowboys on November 22nd.
Mark, there's a little cushion long left of this pin. There's a slope up onto the fringe, but if he gets it all the way up to the rough and has it start coming back, I don't think he can hold the green. So trying to hit that low draw, like you said. It does have a little bit of space on that left side, though.
Yeah, you got like 6 behind it. Yeah.
Wind just out of the right at the moment.
He went for the low one. Good work. Oh, no way it stays there.
.109 now for Dustin Johnson, up to 117.
It's a pretty look here.
Drive it in a little lower.
Pretty. These two having fun with shots like that.
Boy, did he change his world when he became a great wedge player.
Yeah, he was like one of the first to just totally get dialed in with TrackMan years ago, and he could start guessing numbers perfectly of how far he was hitting every single wedge. And both of these guys were #1 in the world at one point in their careers, and that's what got DJ there, is that improved wedge play.
Well, Jordan's been a good wedge player his entire life. And you could say it came naturally, but Lord only knows how many hours he spent doing it. It's this 40% of the game thing that's been an issue this week. His strokes gain putting's been better this year overall.
It has.
I mean, it's kind of what's interesting. This is
yeah, he's had a good year in that category. It's just unfortunate he hasn't made those putts this week. So ball striking has been strong.
Jordan is taking his time over this putt. And another one of those balls, if it gets up a little bit higher, virtually right on that fall line, if it would have been able to get back to that fringe, create a little momentum down the slope, had a chance. But now he's got a ticklish little, dare I say, straight putt down the hill. think he sees this moving a little right just based off of how he's approaching it.
Yeah, the arrows are shooting pretty straight down the hill here.
I forgot to hit it.
Rory McIlroy has hit a seed down the fairway here behind these guys. And Rory is 2 under for the PGA, just 2 shots behind. One of those players is Chris Kirk that he's chasing. Kirk is on the 18th hole right now, 7 under on his round, 4 under for the PGA. See if Dustin Johnson can inch closer here.
Yeah, I was going to say this get him to level for the championship.
On more of a left line from where Spieth was putting from, so that slope that Spieth was putting down is in front of him. This should be curling to the left. Speed is going to determine how much of right to left it will break.
DJ's all the way back to even now. 1 point was 4 over for the championship. It's 2 under on his round today. 4 off of the lead as he goes to the 12th.
Again, a different angle here with the wind off the left. It's been off the right, now it's off the left. Today's hole location. 1, start from your left. 1, 2, yes, it's that far right behind the corner. It's actually fairly level back there, and it's not dangerous. There's nothing real dangerous back there. Probably the one of the friendliest hole locations on the green, believe it or not. Trick here, get in the fairway. That is your order of business, number 1.
Chris Kirk is on the front fringe on 18 green.
That pin's front left today.
He gets down in 2, he shoots 63. If he makes it, ties the major championship scoring record for 18 holes. Chris Rayton shot 65 today. Rayton's 2 under and 2 back. I mean, if you're Dustin Johnson now, you have to start thinking of, gosh, I get a couple more of these here. I'm right in the fight.
More in than left here.
Where he's about to hit right now.
So DJ's going to wait for Rory to play his approach shot. Back behind these guys on 11.
All right, don't need much of a cut here. A little more square setup there. Love that. 280 bunt, perfect.
Yeah, I know it's right, southwest.
There's applause you heard in the background, Mark, where for Rory's second shot, he hit it exactly where Spieth just putted from it. Above the hole.
More tees.
Kind of a rare miss there.
Well, Dustin Johnson started the day at 2 over par. Great iron play today. At the third.
Little controlled wedge here. About 115 yards.
Then at 9.
Yeah, he misplayed his second. Left himself probably close to 50 yards back there. Pretty well judged, and he got that one in, right in the middle.
And then just a moment ago at 11.
And there is a recurring theme. And I bet you can guess what that is. All of these shots came from where?
The fairway.
Yeah. Gain control.
That is a big factor this week. Scotty Scheffler and David Puig in 20 minutes. Right here on ESPN Plus.
I doubt David has played with Scotty in a tournament. He's another one that Arizona State kid, really good player, and he plays on that other tour.
You know, Scotty fought through brutal conditions yesterday morning. Was 3 over through his first 4 holes, and as always, fought and got everything he could out of it, and ended up making a couple birdies. And it was a 1 over par 71. He was the 18-hole co-leader after 67 on Thursday. And for every reason, he's the first name you look at going into this Saturday. He's the defending champion. He's the #1 player in the world. He's had 3 consecutive second-place finishes this season. Spieth in that left rough, DJ in the fairway.
That's a cool image.
And as soon as those guys tee off, we will switch over to watching Scotty and David Puig here on ESPN Plus.
So another trait is open fronted greens. There's nothing in the blocking off the entry other than humps and a few hills and bumps and things, but very Scottish in a lot of ways. There's lots of noise out there.
Lots of noise right behind these guys.
Who's that?
Well, we were talking about Scotty Scheffler, and we were wondering if we could get Scotty and Rory in the picture in the same championship. I finished 1 and 2 in the Masters, but didn't really ever feel like it was manu-y-manu. Rory just makes birdie behind these guys, and he is only 1 behind. Is this going to be a chippy hybrid?
That looks like what we're trying to cook up here. So let me get some math going here. Pin's 26. actually a normal depth green, 35. It's only got about 160 to the front, so this is, I call these caddy shots.
Dives in that bunker.
.180. Pretty much right back in his face. And man, this one ought to fit his eye right here. This ought to fit his eye. Tried to hit a little low cut in there and got it turned over. Not a problem. Yeah, that was a mistake there.
There's a lot happening out there right now. Scheffler 2 back as he starts his round in 16 minutes. Alex Smalley and Mav McNeely at 4 under. Rory McIlroy just makes birdie from the same place Spieth putted from, made birdie, and he's 1 back. He's 4 under on his round. And Chris Kirk just doubled the 18th, just 4 putted there at 18 and falls back to 2 under. Kirk shoots 65 today and is 2 back.
He 4 putted?
Well, he was on
technically.
He was on the front fringe, so I guess technically 3 putted, but he used his putter 4 times.
That's a shame.
These guys can come in and make a couple of birdies. Who knows?
I mean, yeah, it's this.
What happens this afternoon with this wind? And
it's the finish. Sam Burns, there he is. He's popping up. Birdie 16. He'll be at 3 under par for the championship. Brian Harman, going good.
Look at all these names that are Aaron Rai, Andrew Novak. They're tied for 24th. Dustin Johnson is tied for 33rd, and he's 4 behind.
That's insane. It's fun.
It is fun.
Pretty long bunker shot right here. I've got it calculated at 80 feet. So that's 25-yard bunker shot.
Flat lie, Brooksy?
Yeah. I don't know. It's ball's above his feet a little bit. That ball looks like it's sitting absolutely gorgeously, though. Give it a go. Full-on spinner from 25 yards. There you go. There you go. Nice yardage for that shot. Not to mention the lie was gorgeous. It's about the only thing I hadn't complained about this week. The bunkers. And the other reason, these greens are 8,500 square feet on average, so they're hitting a lot of greens. They're putting a lot. They're putting a lot. I'll go out on a limb, Taylor, say he wouldn't have hit many shots like that when he was playing a little more competitive golf. That was pretty unusual. DJ didn't double cross very often with an iron in his hand. He was going for a little low cut, and he kind of came out left, drawing. And he is well wide of his target here. 20-yard shot. He's 62 feet away. Pretty good leave right there.
Well, there is no doubt being in the fairway has made a big difference these first 3 days. There was a lot of conversation about whether it would. In fact, the person that was saying that the loudest, Rory McIlroy, only hit 5 fairways on Thursday and shot 4 over par. He has put on like premium prime level Rory McIlroy driving performance yesterday and today, and he's 1 shot off the lead. As you keep saying, it makes a huge difference on this golf course, and we see it on this hole too, where Dustin Johnson is in the fairway and Jordan Spieth had to hit a half swing chip hybrid from 180 yards out of a bad lie in the rough.
Yeah, I'm not saying the pins weren't tough yesterday. Of course they were. Weather was pretty tough, but I think they had a plan for the 4 rounds. And it's just hard when somebody drives the ball in the rough over and over and over and over, and then they complain about hole locations. It doesn't really match.
Oh, he thought he missed it.
Went the other way.
He misread it into the hole and remains 4 back. There'll be plenty of coverage of Dustin in the last 6 holes on CBS. Great up and down for Jordan Spieth as they go to the drivable par 4 13th.
Well, it's more than that. I'll give you the number here in a second.
We will come back with Scotty Scheffler and David Pooge in just a moment. George Savarikas and Scott Verplank are stepping in here on ESPN Plus.
There are 58 players within 6 of the lead. The wind has made it challenging, and the greens have been absolutely ferocious as we head toward moving day.
It's finally the weekend. 2 more days of major championship shots.
Oh, what a shot. What a shot.
And the corresponding major championship nerves.
Buckle up. Get a windbreaker.
In every generation and every sport,
Birdie got it.
a seductive possibility hangs out there, more precious than any trophy.
Yes,
That you might win enough tournaments.
He shows up at the big time event.
Enough of the right tournaments, like this week's PGA Championship.
He is ascending on this leaderboard.
For people to still speak your name long after memory of your actual self has faded away.
McNeely going on a run all afternoon.
The crackle in the air is born of that hope. All these players, somewhere inside, have laid out some scenario that ends with them holding the Wanamaker. The trophy is nice, but really, they're after immortality, or at least the myth of it. Welcome to Moving Day at the PGA Championship.
What a beautiful Saturday we have just 15 miles away from downtown Philadelphia as ESPN and the PGA of America proudly present the 2026 PGA Championship. Today it's third round coverage of our feature group number 1 live from Aronimink Golf Club in Newtown Square, Pennsylvania. What a treat we have in store for today. David Puig in the biggest spot of his career playing with world number 1 Scotty Scheffler. The two enter this third round at 2 under par. Scheffler just a couple back of where the co-leaders are in Smalley and McNeely. I'm George Zavarikas, pleased to be sitting alongside 5-time PGA Tour winner Scott Verplank. Ned Michaels will be out on the course walking with our twosome. Here's a look at the two guys. The tee time at 1:40 Eastern Time, 44 minutes from now. Scotty Scheffler, rounds of 67 and 71 to get to this point. Puig with the reverse, 71 and 67 in the toughest conditions yesterday. The leaderboard, Smalley, McNeely at 4 under. How about Rory McIlroy and Xander Schauffele are each 4 under through 11 today, 3 under for the week. They have pulled within 1 of where the lead is out on the course. Sam Burns at 3 under is 1 back. John Rahm just getting going is now at 2 under within 2. Ludwig Oberg is also just teed off. He's a couple back. Christopher Rayton, Chris Kirk tying the round of the week with 5 under 65s. Chris got her up with the second round 65 as well. 2 under has you at a share of 12th. Patrick Reed, Patrick Cantlay out on the course at 1 under par. Brian Harman with a 66. Scott, as we scroll through this leaderboard, you see how bunched it is. You're 1 under, you're 3 back, you're at 26th.
Well, yeah, you're right, George. I mean, it's so bunched up, and we've seen some low scores this morning, though, so could be coming.
How about Scotty Scheffler? Started with a 67, was a co-leader with 18 holes in the books. Didn't carry that momentum over to the second round. First round, he had 13 out of 14 fairways. Second round, he missed his first 6, but hit 7 of his last 8. So he was 7 for 14 overall, was inaccurate with the driver, only player in top 10 after 36 holes of the last 4 PGA Championships, and he is the defending champion, just 2 back with 2 rounds to go.
Well, George, Ned and I were on the range watching Scotty and David warm up, and I think it's the best warm-up I've seen from Scotty Scheffler. I know it's easily the best one this week, but I think he and Randy had a nice session late yesterday when we watched him on the range. I think he may have eliminated that little pull that had been kind of nagging him. So on the range, it was beautiful. So I'm excited to watch him today.
Randy being his longtime coach, Randy Smith, who's coached him since he was a little kid, was out on the range with Scotty Scheffler after his second round 71. But David Puig, who's at 2 under par. And he's a young phenom from Spain. 3 worldwide wins, 2 on the Asian Tour, 1 on the DP World Tour, 62nd in the world golf rankings. Puig played college golf at Arizona State, joined the program in 2020, left after a couple years, was a second-team All-American in 2021. Helped them went 2-1 in match play at the 2022 NCAA Championship, where Arizona State was a runner-up to Texas.
Well, he obviously is a really, really good player. He's won on basically three different parts of the world. But I got all the background. He plays out at Whisper Rock with John Rahm and a bunch of guys. Colt knows Steven. And these guys all have fallen in love with David Puig. They think he is a talent level that is pretty rare.
The 24-year-old from Barcelona, Spain, is now playing with the world #1 Scottie Scheffler, 29 years old, making his last start in his 20s at a major championship. Scheffler, 20 career wins on the PGA Tour, 4 majors, looking to add to that total this week. He begins this third round, 2 back, and now is ready to go on moving day.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 108th PGA Championship. This is the 1:40 p.m. starting time. Now on the tee, please welcome the 2025 PGA Champion from Texas, Scottie Scheffler.
Such a premium on finding fairways. If you do that, you can control the spin and take advantage of some of these hole locations, the first 7 holes on the front side.
And we've been seeing that all day. So completely different wind today, though. So in from the right here, which is a good wind to drive into.
Scheffler off, splits the fairway. Carried it 301, launched.
That was well struck, George. A little into the wind.
Now on the tee, please welcome from Spain, David Puig.
Spaniards have won the Masters, the U.S. Open, the Open Championship. No one from Spain has ever won the PGA Championship.
And the word on the street is this guy has an extra gear, so we'll see if he brings it out here.
Seems to like it. Up the right third of the fairway. That bounds past Scottie Scheffler.
And one of the experts said, oh, he'll hit it 15 to 20 past Scottie all day, so he can go.
He's got some pop in his bat, both guys. Great tee shots on the opening hole and in the fairway out of the gates. Let's welcome in Ned Michaels, third member of our broadcast team. Ned, how about the conditions we're having for this third round?
Well, good afternoon, everyone, and this promises to be a spirited affair because the wind is starting to pick up, and the difficult thing about it around here, the gusts are beginning to have a little velocity to them. And you're trying to get to these hole locations. We know the course is more scoreable today, but the greens baking in the sunshine with the lapping warm breeze, they're getting crispy, they're getting firm. So you're gonna have to be able to control your trajectory. Front hole locations, you better go up top, and those back ones, and that's where Scottie Scheffler excels, being able to flight the ball down and skip it to those back hole locations. So keep an eye on Scheffler in that regard. In terms of David, it's a player that we're getting to know. George, you touched on how talented he is, how much horsepower he has under the hood. Check this out. I talked to him on the range, his team. These are his carry yardages, folks. This kid's a thoroughbred. Let me tell you, he hits his 4-iron almost 240 yards in the air. That's all carry. And just a little personal note on David so we get to know him a little bit better. He was warming up. He had an earbud in, and I asked his coach, Dave Phillips, what he was listening to. And he said, well, David's dad has the Spotify account. So David links into his dad's account and has music ranging from hip-hop to 70s yacht rock. So this kid, he's versatile not only on the golf course, but off as well. And everybody around him, you talked about it, Scott, they have mentioned how much talent this kid possesses. But as you know, Saturday at a major, playing with the world #1, we're going to find out what he's made of.
You want to be the man in the arena. Great opportunity for Puig playing with Scotty Scheffler. I had a rude awakening at the end of the year. Spotify does your listening age. My listening age last year was 68 years old. So Puig.
That's a surprise. Really?
Well, apparently when I cook and I'm listening to old Frank Sinatra or whatever, it gravitate towards a generation of yesteryear. So nice to see that Puig enjoys a variety of music thanks to his pops, who's still the account holder. You would think if he's able to top 10 or win this week, might be time to get your own Spotify account.
I would think so, but at least he's well-rounded, so he got that going for him. He'll get along well with Scotty Scheffler.
310-yard tee shot for Scotty Scheffler, 322 for David Puig. They'll both have a wedge in to this back left hole location.
Yeah, and with the wind blowing in right to left, pretty attackable shot right here. As we've seen most of the week, the first 7 holes is where you really need to make your money.
I was on the radio coverage earlier this morning and saw guys getting within 10 feet of the stick, but you got to hit a really good wedge shot, Ned, and land it a couple paces short of the hole so it skips back.
Well, that's exactly what we just touched on, and off of an uphill lie, it's difficult to flight it down, and the wind really whipping now. Scott, that's going to be a day where
like 35, low 40. You're holding it. What's the adjusted hole? The adjusted hole's 38. 32, I think. Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. I thought it was 32. Yeah. You said mid 40s? Yeah, I was saying low 40s, trying to land at 35. Great.
.131's the raw number. And you heard him talking about almost up to 40.
Yeah, I think they're obviously taking a longer club, trying to flight it down. We're saying 135 and have it bounce forward. So that's the picture.
A day of commitment required.
Well, is there anybody better at commitment than this guy?
Exactly what he needed to do. Scheffler inside 10 feet now for birdie on the first green.
Well, George, you and I watched it on the range, and he hadn't really had that shot just perfect. But, man, I think he's got it dialed in. I can't wait to see what happens.
Scheffler says game on to Puig.
Slightly better angle here for Puig.
Came out of it just a little.
Rides the slope off the green. He'll likely go with putter. Not the best effort from Puig. Scheffler, after his 71 yesterday, wasn't too thrilled with the hole locations that he encountered in the second round.
This is the hardest set of pin locations that I've seen since I've been on tour, and that includes U.S. Opens, that includes Oakmont. I asked Fuch, who caddies for Justin Rose, he's been around a long time, and I asked Teddy too. In the middle of today's round, I was like, have y'all seen anything like this before? And they said maybe Shinnecock is the only place they've seen that had pins that could compare to this. But like, it's different in a sense on this golf course because like Oakmont, like their greens are extremely severe, but they're extremely severe in one direction. Here it's like the green may slope all this way, and then we put the pin down here, and then there's also a slope this way, and like it's not as how would you say natural to the slopes that are there. There's a bit more, I think, that's manufactured into the greens, and I mean it's just very difficult. I mean, it's difficult to get the ball close to the hole. It's difficult to hold putts, especially when you have big slopes and wind, and I think that's why you see the scores so close to par.
Scheffler had said some of them in his estimation were bordering on absurd. It seemed like some of the guys had that sentiment. Others were just saying, hey, it's a really hard setup. It's a major championship. That's what you should expect. First 7 holes in the second round, Scheffler was +3. He had teed off the 10th and then was 2 under the rest of the way once he got the driver figured out, Scott.
Well, like I said, he was been pulling it a little bit, not solid. I think that once he got the driver figured out, everything else kind of came into play too. So, George, this is one of the few golf courses that I can remember that you have to hit it in the fairway off the tee. They hardly play that kind of golf anymore. So I think that's one reason why the scores aren't as low and everybody's bunched together, which I think it's a great setup.
I could hear the smile on your face, Scott. Nice when fairways matter.
How quick is this, Ned, when it gets on the green?
Yeah, it'll have some pace to it, especially with these winds bouncing around a little bit. You catch a gust.
Boosh slides up there a few feet away.
Pretty good on the speed. That was way more important than the line there. The last thing you want to do, Ned, is rifle it by 3 or 4 feet or leave it short 4 or 5 feet.
Another look at the putt.
Yeah, going through the fringe is a different speed than once you get on the putting surface. So that's where these guys are pros, because they figure that stuff out pretty easily.
About this for Scheffler.
Going through his normal routine, breaking it down into thirds. Well, your eyes tell you that it should try to curve towards the back of the green, but there's a high point just beyond the green that I think is actually going to influence it a little bit. In the end, it's relatively straight.
Scheffler shoves it at the first.
I kind of expected him to make that one. Honestly, I think he did too.
Caught the world #1 by surprise. He's had such a great putting season statistically. Top 15 on the PGA Tour coming into this week, and then misses a golden opportunity.
I think Ned called it. It didn't break. He should have broke a little bit of right to left, and it didn't. So.
Pooch
Snuck her in there, and I'm sure he's good for him to get the first hole over with and get the nerves out and kind of get settled in, and let's go.
The look back for Scheffler's par.
We saw so many good scores going out earlier today, but this afternoon is shaping up to be more difficult with these heavy winds that were predicted only 8 to 10 miles an hour. Almost feeling twice as much of that, so missed opportunity stings a little bit more.
Well, you know, Ned, this golf course, the majority of it plays up on kind of top of the hill, and they've cut down so many trees that it's probably a little windier here than it's ever been.
Kick it over to the second. Bunkers had been in play for most of the week. You wonder now with the warm conditions, guys will be able to carry those with more ease at 294.
Well, the first one for sure, but this is going to play right back into the wind. So if it's really gusting up like George or Ned was saying, you're still going to have to leave it over there to the right of them. But it should help you if you hit the fairway on your approach. Since you're going to be back a little into the wind, you'll have a better way to gauge it and get it in there in these small areas.
Tucked right hole location, 6th easiest hole. That's for the week. That is played over par.
270 over.
Scheffler still has the honor.
Hurting sometimes or just straight across? See a little bit hurt. How many were we? We're up 7. We're up 8.
We saw Roy McIlroy earlier in the day have just 75 yards to this green. But not with these wind conditions. Into and out of the right. If this ball has any movement from left to right when it lands in the fairway, with the carom, it will certainly take a hard bounce and likely run into the rough.
Yeah, this is a difficult wind for a dog leg left hole. Left to right in. He did it perfectly, though. Played his little power cut. Oh, you called it, though, Ned. Through the fairway.
And he would not know that. He's going to be surprised when he gets up there and finds it in the deep grass.
Yeah, you know, it's another more, you almost need to maybe try to hold it into this wind a little bit instead of letting the wind carry it, since this fairway slopes so hard left to right.
You need 275 at a minimum so you can see the landing area, the putting surface for your second. And that started farther left.
I think it's okay. Just goes through. Wow, what a bounce. Same result.
Both guys missing the fairway in the right-hand rough. Could be boxed out to this front right hole location. That's what they're playing for, the Wanamaker Trophy this week at the PGA Championship.